Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another perfume review video. My name is Naz. This is my channel, the King of Hidden Gems. I try to bring to your attention fragrances are usually very good value for money. They smell good. They're usually under the radar. Not many people talk about them. I think at least you should do your research time for yourself and see if they're any good to you. So in this video I have another introduction slash review for you, and this is the House of Lush. House of Lush is a British, some people say it's a designer. I would say it's a niche brand, because apart from the perfume and related perfume related product, they don't make anything else. All they make is perfume. They make soaps, they make creams, shower gel and things like that. So to me they are a niche brand, and not just because they don't make anything else, because the quality, to me their quality of perfumes are on the niche side of things. Reason is because they are quite bold, they are sometimes very unique, quite interesting, and very they have a big character to them. A majority of the perfume you don't find anywhere else, because they dare to make those perfumes. This is one of them actually. So House of Lush is they have many branches in United Kingdom and some European countries. They started in Britain, in west of England, about 35 years ago, and first they were making soaps and creams and things like that, but later on, about 10 years after that, they started to venture to perfumes. There are three perfumers working with their perfumes. They're making perfumes. One is the owner, which is Constantine. His name is Constantine. What was his? So sorry about that. One sec. So so there's a Simon Constantine and John, I think John or David Constantine. Anyway, so there are two Constantine, the father and the son, which are the owners, and also Emma Dick, which she's working with them. From time to time she make the perfume or put the perfume together. So this one in particular came out in 2016. So this one came out 2016 and it was a big hit. Although it's quite polarizing, majority of artistic, unique, bold perfumes, this is what happened to them. They are polarizing. Either people love them to bits or they can't stand them. This is one of them. This is very polarizing. So it came out 2016, but 3-4 years later they discontinue it. It came out in the white basically, as you can see, white label first. It was 100 ml and also 30 ml, but they discontinued that and they brought it back a couple of years ago, this time in their library collection, which is much more expensive. It used to be £75 for 100 ml, now is £150, double the price. And also they don't have it in 30 ml anymore, and because it's a black label now, and it's called Perfume Library and Cardamom Coffee, and it's more expensive. But the good news is you can find them discounted on eBay. So people sell them on eBay much cheaper than £150 if you are interested. Almost all of between me and my wife, we bought our Lush on eBay. Maybe one or two we bought it inside the shop itself, but majority of them we bought on eBay, and they are much better. They are discounted and better prices. Anyway, so this one came out 2016 and it was a big hit, especially among the fragrance communities. Fragrance community loved it. This one is first thing first, presentation very simple. House of Lush, they make very simple perfume packaging, very simple bottle, very simple cap, very simple, very minimalistic, very simple, and that is what I love about them. They don't hit our pocket, plus they good for the environment. As you can see, very, very simple bottle, rectangular, classic, nothing to brag about. It says Cardamom Coffee, information in the back. And also, this one in particular is the 2016 edition, which is the first edition came out. Between me and my wife, we have another either one or two of the backup bottle of this because we love it so much. But as you can see, we didn't put dent to it because we love this one so much. The reason is because the first edition was a little bit airier. If you go and buy the Cardamom Coffee today, 99% similar in terms of smell profile and the strength, but it is less airy. For some reason, is much denser and thicker. So that this one, the difference is very minute, and that is the only difference. Otherwise, the smell profile, the DNA, everything else is the same. So, me and my wife, we love this perfume so much. And as I said, it's very, very polarizing. It's not everybody's cup of tea, pun intended, because it smells of some tea and coffee as well. I'll tell you in a minute. So I would say this one definitely mature. I would say at least 25 and older, if not 30 years and older. That is my recommendation. I think a mature and nose will appreciate this much better than a youngster. In terms of occasion, this is very opulent, so it's very good for going out, special occasion, evening, formal occasion, close encounter, dating, dinner, going to a special ceremony like wedding and birthdays and things like that. Very, very special and very delicious. Overall, it's quite gourmand, yes, but it's very delicious in the same time. So, season-wise, definitely this is a cooler weather perfume. No way you can wear this. I mean, you can, obviously, you pay for a perfume, you know where to wear it and how to wear it. But my recommendation is cooler weather, winter, autumn, and spring. Summer, this could be cloying. And in terms of gender, all their fragrances, all their perfumes in House of Lush, they are unisex and targeted unisex, and they are correct. There is no gender in perfumes, as always. If you like something to wear, you wear it. If you don't like it, don't wear it. As simple as that. Forget about the gender in perfumes. And so let's go to the perfume itself. The perfume itself, as the name suggests, cardamom coffee. By the way, they don't, House of Lush, they never say the concentration of the perfumes, they just say perfume. To my nose, majority of their perfumes are more than a EDP, and between EDP and extrait de parfum. So I would say between 20 to 30% perfume oils in their perfumes, depending on which one. This one is very dense and thick, so this one definitely will be closer to 30% pure perfume oils in here, and the rest are carriers and alcohol. And that shows, it shows in the character. It's very dense, it's very thick, it's very strong, it's very rich, it's quite complex, although it's one of those strange perfumes, because in one hand it's quite simple, in one hand it's quite complex. In one hand is the cardamom and coffee in here are the two biggest players. Yes, you smell those very distinctly. On some skin, the cardamom will be stronger. On some skin, the coffee will be stronger. On some skin is medium. On my skin, for example, the coffee is much stronger. On my wife, the cardamom is much stronger. So you can tell the skin chemistry has some effects on perfumes, definitely, and also what you smell and what you pick up in your nose. So the cardamom coffee are by far are the biggest player here, yes, but there are many nuances in here. For example, I definitely smell some the spiciness of it. It's like it's camphorous, it's spicy, and in the same time, what do you call it, licorice. So to my nose, it's quite licorice. And that licorice, giving it to mine, reminds me of Christmas. When I smell this, for some reason, just straight it takes me to Christmas, sweet of the Christmas cakes, biscuits, for example. That spice biscuit that people buy in Christmas time, this reminds me of that one very strongly. And also, to some extent, ginger cake, ginger biscuit, especially ginger biscuit when you buy in Christmas time again. very very reminiscent of those smell. So overall this is very very edible smell to it. It's very gourmand, it's very delicious. The coffee in here is quite a strong coffee. I would say the coffee in here is a similar smell or similar type of coffee to Turkish, Arabic, and also Italian espresso. So you need to like those kind of coffee smell to enjoy it, because very realistic, you know, especially on some skin when it goes super coffee, it becomes very realistic. It's like you're smelling like a coffee shop basically, and that's why it's quite polarizing, because some people say, why do I need to smell like coffee shop? But if you like your coffee fragrances, coffee based perfumes, this is one of the best out there, no doubt. I absolutely enjoy it, I absolutely love it, my wife loves it. So the licorishness, there's anise smell to this. There's a hint of cinnamon in here as well, and also a little of cumin to my nose. So it is quite spicy. The spiciness is very very heavy in here. It's very complex and it's very deep, and that giving it that hint of bitterness in here. The bitterness is coming from the coffee itself, and also from some of the spices in here. I get a hint of what do you call it, an incense in here as well, but it's not a huge player. But undertones smell of incense, and also a little bit of smokiness. Overall this fragrance, this perfume is quite smoky, is a little bit dusty, is a little bit powdery as well, so you can tell where it's going. It's quite complex, in the same time it's quite simple. So the note breakdown according to Fragrantica is cardamom, is coffee, is oud or agarwood, olive tree, and rose. I get the rose, but the rose is not a huge player in here. It's mainly in the background from the beginning to the end. You never smell the rose prominently. It doesn't take over. It doesn't come up. Always in the background. But if your skin brings it up, maybe sometimes, or your nose can pick it up, you can pick it up, but it's not a huge player. The olive tree, I'm getting some camphorous feeling here. So I'm getting some leafy aspect in this fragrance, some green aspect of it, and also some herbal aspect to this fragrance. Definitely, yeah, it's quite herbal, it's quite camphorous, quite herbaceous, it's quite leafy, it's quite green in the same time. But again, it's not a huge player in the background, and it's very very aromatic. The aromaticness of this fragrance is coming from that coffee and cardamom. The cardamom in here is beautiful cardamom. It's very deep and dense and thick cardamom. To my nose, sometimes smells like a cardamom tea with lots of brown sugar. So if you like very strong tea, black tea with lots of cardamom in it, and also brown sugar added to it, making it a little bit, very very sweet, this is for you as well. The sweetness from 0 to 10, 10 being the sweetest, this is around 7 to 8. So it's very very sweet, but in the same time is not one of those sweetness that it runs away and it give you headache, it will give you nausea, or give you sickness feel. None of those. Although some people could be smelling that, because the sweetness is very very big. It's like a brown sugar, in the same time is caramelized. So it's a caramelized brown sugar in here, very very strongly again. The smell of biscuit, as I said, very very strong in here, like a ginger biscuit, like a spiced biscuit, very very strongly. Sometimes reminds me of cakes, coffee cakes, or walnut cakes. There is a again another aspect to this fragrance, which is chestnutty feel. Sometimes I smell like chestnut, burning chestnut, walnut, a little bit of almond maybe. So it is a little bit on the nutty side of things as well. So you can tell where it's going. Very very complex, but in the same time, as I said, they call it cardamom coffee, which are two biggest player here, but everything else are nuances and facets, and there are layers, very very deep layers in this fragrance. The coffee in here, as I said, very reminiscent of Turkish, Arabic, or Italian espresso. So very deep, dense, thick, and bitter coffee. The sweet and bitter in this one, it works very well. I love that bitter sweet feel. So the bitterness is from the coffee and cardamom, and the sweetness is coming from that brown, caramelized brown sugar. And also sometimes from time to time give me feel of dark chocolate as well. Dark chocolate, dark caramel smell to it, and definitely caramelized brown sugar. So if you like this kind of fragrances and the way I described it, and the multifaceted of this fragrance, because sometimes it depends on my mood, it depends on the weather, depends on so many things. I get different facets of it. Sometimes I get that biscuity, spicy biscuit of it. Sometimes I get the cardamom coffee. Sometimes I get tea with lots of cardamom and sugar. And also sometimes I get like very green aspect of this fragrance. So it is depending on your nose, depending on your skin, depending on your mood, it could change dramatically. And this is one of the beauty of this perfume. It changes, from the beginning to the end. It will change at least 2-3 times, and each time you're giving a different facet. And the longevity on this one is excellent. On my skin goes easily over 8 hours. On t-shirt materials goes for days. I would say even on my skin, even going over 10 hours. So very strong. Okay, so it's super strong, super dense, super thick, super rich perfume. So you need to like this kind of perfumes. As I said, this 2016 edition is a little bit airier than the today's one. Today's one is even denser and thicker. So you need to like this kind of fragrance to enjoy it, because it doesn't have any airiness. It's just basically dense and thick and relentlessly pushing out. In terms of projection, I get at least about 3 to 4 hours of big projection, and after that slowly will subside. But I'll always smell it around me as a big bubble, big cloud, and a big trail. I don't go more than 5 sprays of this because it's very strong and dense. Some people go crazy and you can smell them from the other side of the road. If you like this kind of fragrances and you want people to smell you from the other side of the road, probably you need to go up to 10 sprays of it. The only thing is, the sprayer, it doesn't put that much juice out. So 10 sprays of this, you would count as a normal sprayer, like 5 spray of normal sprayer. So it doesn't, you guys go psh, psh, it doesn't go psh, okay? So that's why it puts like half the amount of normal sprayer. So overall, this fragrance is absolutely delicious, absolutely gorgeous, very gourmand, very reminiscent of winter festival, festive, winter drinks, winter biscuits, cakes, sweets, coffee, spiced coffee, spiced tea, and lots of sugar, brown sugar, caramelized sugar, chocolate, dark chocolate, bitterness from the cardamom, and also the coffee, and also the sweetness of that caramelized brown sugar. So these things are very prominent here. And also it's got a hint of from time to time I get a hint of leatheriness of this fragrance, not too much a hint of it, but give me like a dark leather feel as well. Sometimes it give me quite an earthy feel, like a compost feels from time to time as well. So a very complex fragrance. Again, to me, this is not a simple fragrance. Some people say this is very simple to them, like only they smell only cardamom and coffee. Everybody's different, but to me this is just basically layers and layers of notes and nuances and facets, and very complex. Anyway, so warm spiciness, definitely spice and more spice, definitely that coffee, little of cumin, little bit of cinnamon, little bit of star anise, and also licorice to it as well. The coffee in here is very heavy and dense and bitter coffee, which is balancing very well with the brown caramelized sugar and little bit of burning sugar smell to it as well. The coffee in here is like a Turkish, Arabic, and also the very strong Italian espresso coffee, so very thick and dense. Very aromatic, which is mainly coming from that cardamom. The cardamom in here is super aromatic, it's very delicious in here. The oud is giving it a little bit of woodiness in the base, little bit of camphorous, little bit of woodiness, little bit of leathery feel, little bit of that resin feel, and also little bit of oudi feel. But the oudi in here is way in the background. You don't smell it that much. It's just basically a supportive role mainly. And it's quite woody in the base as well. Sometimes from time to time I get leather, sometimes I get earthiness, and sometimes I get camphorous feel, little bit of balsamic feel, powdery, dusty, smoky. All these things are different facets of this beautiful perfume overall. So if you like the description I gave you, wow, 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 this is one of the beautiful perfumes out there. It's super gorgeous. From beginning to end, I give it 10 out of 10 for my taste, for my age, for my experience. I absolutely adore this perfume. I absolutely love it to bits. In winter, it just basically puts a smile on my face, because every time I wear it, it just basically makes me happy, because it reminds me of Christmas for some reason. And I highly recommend it. It's just no brainer. I understand £150 is a lot of money, but you're getting something very unique. There's nothing like this out there. No coffee fragrance out there compares to this. Very different to the other coffee fragrances out there. Very unique, very dense, very thick, very strong, very long lasting, very beautiful, very gourmand, very delicious, and in the same time very mysterious. Okay guys, that was the review of this beautiful perfume from the House of Lush, and that was Cardamom Coffee. If you have it, if you know, if you tried it, let us know your experience. That would be useful for others to read. If you like what I do, if you find it useful, informative, valuable, or entertaining, please don't forget to hit those buttons. This way you help me, encourage me, motivate me to bring you perfumes like this in future that nobody else is talking about. They're amazing value for money, they smell great, and they are hidden gems. This beauty is definitely a hidden gem. If you are interested in purchasing one of my own perfumes and support me that way and get something very beautiful in return, you could do that. I leave them in the link. I'm the perfumer, I'm the artist, I'm the worker, so they are true handmade perfumes just for you lucky people in United Kingdom. I put more than 60% pure perfume oils in my perfumes, and that makes them huge, bold, big, long lasting, and very artistic, very unique. They are like time capsules. They take to different places, different time, and they are absolutely gorgeous, if I say myself. Thank you very much as always for watching. Thank you very much for your love and support, and I'll see you later. Bye.